Hi everyone, welcome back to Link's Awakening DX. So, in this video we're in Dungeon 8. Normally, obviously, they're meant to be the last dungeon that you do. It's the third last one that I'm doing. And there's a good reason for that. Number one being that it's on your route, and number two being that the weapon that you get in here is pretty useful in like the other two dungeons. Anyway, right, let me just quickly explain something about Turtle Rock here. There's a whole section to my right, like to Link's like northeast, that you're supposed to do. And it takes forever. Like, I'm seriously about to skip half of the dungeon with the trick that I'm about to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wall clip in here, like this. I'm going to stand between these two blocks. I'm going to stand slightly more towards the right block, like this. And I'm going to push up. And that moves this block to the left, which means I can just pop right through here. So I'll jump across here, bomb arrow, blow up the wall, blow up this wall. And I can get my first key just by shooting this thing. I think the owl tells you that if you put the beak in it, but whatever. I don't need that. And I said in the last video I couldn't remember where the other heart piece is. It's actually right here. I couldn't remember it because it's like kind of in the dungeon. I'm not going to head east here. It activates the fourth warp, but I don't need it. I'm never going to have to come back here, so that's fine. Just skip the text there by bringing out the hook shot. I think I'm just going to be a wimp and go down here and get these little refills. Definitely not necessary, but might as well. It's not like this is a real speedrun. There's another key for me in here. Oops. Okay, not a big deal actually, I can just go like that. So the hookshot's actually quite useful here because you can use it to skip like having to walk up the stairs, which takes forever, even though I just showed it off anyway. And I can just get across here. So I've already skipped seriously half of the dungeon because in here is like where the mini boss is. Can I do this section quickly? Yes, I can. That's so bloody difficult to do, by the way. Like, see, you get through, like, to land on the platform right away on its first cycle. You have to go down the ladder in a certain way, and it just takes like tons of practice. At least it did for me. I'm just not really that good at this game, though. Okay, so here's Blano. He makes another appearance in Oracle of Seasons as like a guy that you can fight for fun, I guess. But yeah, his first appearance was in this one as a mini-boss. Not really hard at all to do if you just do the spin attacks. Even if you don't have the damage tunic, you can just still kill him in 4 spin attacks. Anyway, up here is a roadblock. Not an issue, I'll go and sort that out in a second. It's just faster to do it this way, to activate the warp and then come back and get that. Wow, I got to hit him. I never managed to hit him with the sword. So I'm going to take this thing again, straight across this time. And I'm going to want my bomb arrows again, so these two. There's a secret in here. This is probably like what makes the dungeon a little bit difficult, is finding this area in here. Whoops. Okay, so in this room there's another key that I can quickly grab. Now, these things really suck. You need to, like, just press the direction on the D-pad that you want it to move in, but if you're, like, even slightly too late, it'll crash into a wall and it'll restart. You have to exit the room and come back in. Fortunately, I've managed to get this one without any issues, but there's another one later on which is a little bit trickier, I think. Just because it's longer, it takes longer to do it. Oops. Actually, I'm going to show something off here. I never actually demonstrated just how long you can do this kind of thing for when I was doing the water glitch before, but if I jump in here and then pause it on the first frame that Link falls in, so just wait for that, or that one, and I can just jump south. Just gonna wait for the next frame where he falls in. I think I paused way too early there. I'm just waiting for the splash sound, like that, which lets me jump again. Which lets me jump again, so that's pretty neat. In fact, I'm going to use that later on in this dungeon just to be extra difficult. So now that I've hit that switch, I can go back into the warp, back to Blano's room, and I can head up here, and the roadblock is gone, which means I can come up here and get probably the best item in the game, honestly, the magic rod. Lets you shoot fireballs, which is pretty awesome. Let's just get it out. And the best part about it is that you can use it while moving and it doesn't slow you down. So I can just kill this thing. Oh, well, whatever. I'm going to come back down and kill him. There you go. Alright, so I could push this thing. As I said, I'm going to be difficult and not do that. This is like so ridiculous, by the way. But I made it. Okay, cool. By the way, try not to touch these ice blocks from the side because it makes like this really slow and terrible text appear about how it's cold. And I'm just like, I so don't care. Okay, so mini boss in here. You can quick cycle this guy if you stand right here and just do... Oh, never mind, I screwed it up. I'm gonna wait for him to come back. Dude, I'm mad now. Like, I wanted him to be in this corner. Okay, so when he comes back, you can just do this again. If you can do it better than I just did it, you'll be able to kill him really quickly because it takes 4 spin attacks. I'm just gonna grab that because I'm a wimp. So here's the room I was talking about earlier, which really sucks. I mean, it's not hard. It's just if you screw it up, it takes forever to do it again. So I'm gonna do it this way. Probably the most intuitive way to do it. It also means that when I'm moving it towards the edge, I can actually jump slightly at certain parts like that. Okay, I got it. Not bad. So save and quit back to the entrance. And I want my magic rod out again. I'm going to need it in a second. I will kill this thing this time. And just to be difficult again, I'm going to do this. Got it first frame, nice. Didn't get that one first frame. You know, I wonder, like, if you did that frame perfect on each of the jumps, it probably would be quite a bit faster than pushing that. Probably something to look into if I ever decide to make a new TES for this game. Okay, so in this room here, I'm gonna burn them in this order, like that. Means I can just jump up and, okay, get in like that. This one in here is a bit more difficult. Best way I like to do it is just come down here and burn them like that. It just sort of minimises the chance of you accidentally touching the side of it and the block not talking to you, but you know what I mean, the text coming up. So, probably one of the easiest bosses, far easier than the last boss of the game, or the last dungeon boss of the game it should ever be, but you can just stand here and batter him with this. This boss is really weird though, because it takes like a random number of hits to beat. It changes almost every time you come in here. You can get like a really, really fast fight with him that lasts like 5 seconds or something. Mine was a lot longer than that, but I'm not really sure how to do it, how to manipulate it, so who cares. That's pretty weird. You know, I wonder if like, normally you can get it at the door. I wonder if like, because I jumped, Link just didn't get it and it fell all the way down. I don't know. I've never seen that happen before. Whatever though. So we've got the Thunder Drum, which is supposed to be the 8th and final instrument you get. For me it's the 6th and 3rd final instrument that I'm getting. Okay, so what's next on the agenda? Let's have a look. Really not that much. I'm just going to head up to the 7th dungeon, which is going to be the next one that I take on. Which, I think most people would agree is probably the hardest dungeon in the game. I can get back out like that if I want, but there's no point. Because I'm going to have to play Mambo's Mambo anyway, so let's just do that and quickly head back to the mountain range. One of the reasons that I'm doing these 2 dungeons, the ones on the mountain, before Dungeon 6, is that if you do Dungeon 6 first, then the owl will talk to you when you try to go up the mountain, which is horrible. And doing it in this order also lets me skip another owl text on the way to Dungeons, or like after Dungeon 6, so... You know, one of the main reasons that it's been routed in this order, aside from the fact that like the magic rod is useful everywhere else, is that it skips a bunch of owl text, which is always something I'm looking to do, because I hate that. Which I'm sure is really obvious by now. So here we are, going up this bloody path again. Wonder if everyone else is as sick of it as I am. No, I'm kidding on. I'm not actually complaining, I don't really care. Because travel time in this game is... it's never really that long. I mean, I suppose... it can still be annoying taking the same route over and over again, but it's not really a big deal. It doesn't bother me too much. Okay, I want to jump over this. Cool. So this time, instead of heading up those stairs, I'm going to head just over the water like this. And yeah, it's worth noting, I think I pointed this out before, but I just want to show it off. The glitch that I did in Dungeon 8 to get across the lava, it doesn't work on water if you have the flippers. Because it just puts them in the water, see? So it only works on like a thing that will damage you on. It doesn't work on pits, by the way, so probably don't even bother trying it there. This is a really, really linear part. You're just kind of... Oh, I really like the way his tunic looks here. It's like a sort of grey-green colour. It's like quite sepia. I think it appears like that in a few screens on the way to Dungeon 7 actually. Looks really cool. I'm not sure what this little section down here is for. Is there something like underground there? I don't know. I'm never going to find out either because I don't actually care. Okay. Alright, I'm going to equip the hookshot and the bracelet here, even though this is going to make my movement a little bit slower. It's just the items that I'm going to need for now. I like that you can walk backwards in this game as well. I think that's really cool. They removed that from the oracles, unfortunately. You can just hookshot all the way across here. Another cool thing you can do here, if you lift up the rock on the right and just sort of walk diagonally upwards into this, he'll actually activate it. Just like when we were opening the Tail Cave and Key Cavern. It's the same kind of thing. Alright, so kind of creepy looking thing with the eagle up there, but Marin's just going to do her usual crap and hang about outside, which is fine with me. And that is going to be it for this video. I'll just get the Pegasus boots out and ready for the next one. So, thank you for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.